Who are the X factors for the Houston Texans going into the divisional round against the Baltimore Ravens, a team some people say is the best team in football? Guys, welcome to Off the Gridiron, your Apollo HOU Houston Texans podcast. My name's Noah Outlaw. I am one of your hosts, as always, and as always, I'm here with Garrett Harrelson. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? I'm ready for football. I'm
Dude,
so excited for football this weekend.
me
Like
too.
this might be one of the most excited I've ever been for a Texans game. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just there's something in the air. There's something different with this team, something we've never really seen before from the Texans. There's a vibe that I don't think we've ever look going into the divisional round. Even in 2019, it was like, yeah, maybe. It was kind of like, well, we'll see.
So we
But
got
this
some
one, I feel
holes.
like we have
So
more confidence. I feel like the city of Houston has more confidence in this team.
oh, absolutely. Like not only the city of Houston, but just like pretty much everyone.
Yeah,
There are people who were fucking around and saying like, yeah, Texans are like a Super Bowl team. They're dark horse Super Bowl team. Like they could beat the Ravens and shock the world this week easily. Maybe not
yeah,
easily, but they're saying like a lot of people are saying that. And I'm like, wow, I've never gone into a divisional round game where the Texans are getting like hype, like they're gonna win this game hype.
yeah,
It's always been like thanks for coming. Houston's been fun, man, but
yeah.
you're not gonna beat Tom Brady in New England.
Yeah,
you
nice
know?
little run, Houston, but it times up. And I mean, there's still a lot of that also out right now. I mean, there was like I saw a TikTok earlier, and it was like it was like the slides on TikTok, and it was like CJ, and it was like, oh man, I just won my first playoff game. Who am I playing now? And then it was just Lamar looking scary, and it was
Yeah.
like, and it was people were like in the comments, everyone was like, good run Texans, but time's up. So it's still that narrative is out there a little bit, but because this Baltimore team, it might be the best team in football at the moment. I mean, they're
Yeah, I mean, they
phenomenal.
finished the season like it for
Hmm.
sure. I mean, blowing out the 49ers, blowing out the Dolphins, like how can you say they're not the number 1
Yeah,
team in the NFL? Which makes it even crazier is like, the Texans going to play probably, the consensus, I would say the most commonly said number 1 team in
yeah,
the NFL by a lot of people, and
mhm,
like we are still getting that hype. We're
yeah.
still like people are still like, "Well, CJ, hey, CJ can win this." I saw a score prediction that said we'd win 38-24,
Ooh.
and I'm
Oh,
like, "What?"
buddy.
So yeah, come on now, like
Hey,
wait,
come on, dude. I ain't gonna hold you.
that's
That would
too
be
much.
rad, dude. That would be nice.
I mean, that'd be
But
awesome, but
no, I mean it would be great. But yeah, I mean, well, obviously the Texans have a tough game coming up. Probably one of the we've already played the Ravens this year. Early first game, week one. It literally like it's night and day compared to what this team is now. It was CJ Stroud's first game ever, and still had a fine day against this Ravens team. He threw for about 248, I believe, and no touchdowns, no picks. But
it was
like
all
I said,
right.
it's just a whole different animal. The Ravens are a different team, and the Texans are just a much different team at this
Yeah,
point. But the key to this game is going to really be stopping Lamar Jackson, I think, but also we're going to break down X factors. Garrett and I have X. We did this last week for the Browns game, and it was kind of fun. I feel like people enjoyed it. Three guys on offense, three guys on defense that we're going to be really keeping a close eye on during the game because they're probably the most important guys on the field to help secure a Texans win. So we're going to get into that today. Let's start out with offense. Garrett, give me your first offensive X factor.
hey, on 3, do you want to say our first offensive X factor together?
Might as well,
Yeah,
yeah.
ready? 3, on go. 1, 2, 3, go.
CJ
CJ
Stroud.
Stroud. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like, hey, I know it's boring, but he is the number 1 X factor on the Texans. He makes us good. He
yeah,
makes us fucking really good. So let's just get that out of the way right now. CJ Stroud is the man. He is the key to win this game. If CJ Stroud plays well, we play well. The Texans probably win. If he
yeah.
doesn't, they would probably lose. But my second X factor, I for that throughout the season, I've been wanting to say like he's gonna pick it up. He's gonna pick it up. He's gonna pick it up, and he hasn't really. But for some reason, I saw a spark against his game against the Browns, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, John Mechie. I
Yeah.
think I like. I think John Mechie in the slot will be really important this game because if you can somehow get him matched up on or take the attention from the linebackers, like get them like lined up with either Kyle Hamilton or like a linebacker like Patrick Queen or Wilcon Smith or something like that
Hmm.
in the middle of the field. Just take like that'll open up lanes for Schultze and Nico and and Robert Woods and Bobby Trees, as some people like to say.
Yeah.
So I think John Mechie, playing in the slot and kind of like you know, I'd say make becoming like a decoy or a distraction in the
Yeah.
middle of the field to take away, some of the star because those big three right there in Baltimore, Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, and Kyle Hamilton,
Yeah.
they're fucking crazy. They're
Yeah. They're
crazy,
insane.
fucking insane.
Hmm.
So as long as we can keep them away from our stars using guys like John Mechie, that's great. I think that's a great plan.
I
I
like
don't.
that
Hey, I'm
pick.
not the
Yeah.
offensive coordinator, but that's what I would do.
Yeah. No, I like that pick a lot. Mechie obviously was a guy who, like you mentioned all year, we've kind of been hoping to see kind of a spark from him. And last week kind of gave us that. I mean, he had 3 receptions on 3 targets. If CJ threw the ball his way, he was there to make a play. He was there and brought it in. So that's all you can really ask. I think he had, 40, 43, 44 yards receiving, but there was specifically one pretty big play, a pretty insane throw from CJ, which
Yeah,
is
that
kind of
quick,
normal.
kind of
Yeah.
stepping up
Kind of
and
in
flicking.
pressure, a lot of guys around him just kind of flicked it to Mechie down the sideline. Phenomenal play. And I like that pick. I hope to see that too. Obviously, with Noah Brown being out for the season, someone's going to have to be there. And we have Robert Woods as well to fill in that void a little bit. But I like that pick. I'm gonna my second X factor is kind of along the same lines as someone who was incredibly involved last week. Kind of has had his ups and downs this season. Not even that he's been bad, but just how much he's been involved. And he was heavily involved. Probably one of the best plays of the game on last Saturday. Brevin Jordan. He's a guy who Dalton Schultz is obviously tight end one, but Brevin is the dude out there. I mean, and really what you need against this Baltimore team is speed. And Brevin Jordan was blazing down the field on that, I don't even know, 75 yard
26,
touchdown.
yeah.
Insane, whatever it was. He was going like 22 miles per hour down the fucking field. And it was like, so if we can get that Brevin and get that speed and him on the open field, and then also have Schultz to take care of his responsibilities, I think that would be huge if we could get both of those guys going. Also, we've just been Brevin boys. I mean, at least I have. I've been a Brevin boy for a while, and I'm really happy to see him breaking out like this.
Yeah, no, I was actually, that was gonna be my next one. I'll change it because I have another guy. But I think if Brevin has crazy, crazy playmaking ability with the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
He's fast, dude. He's fucking fast.
Hmm.
He reached 20 miles per hour on that run,
Yeah.
on that touchdown run, and got drug tested immediately after. Like he went to his locker after the game ended, and there was a drug test notice like
Yeah.
on his locker. So he's a freak for sure.
Yeah.
So if you get the ball in his hands, I'd say design plays where you get the ball in Brevin's hands. Maybe like a tight end screen to him. I don't know, something like a hitch and go to get him open just so he can run for the first down. I don't know. Something.
Yeah.
But I'll go ahead and change mine. I think a really, really I mean, he's not gonna get a lot of snaps, but when he does, they're going to be very important snaps. Dari Ogunbowale,
Mm.
because um I know one of the throws that Stroud had against the Browns, it's when Nico had a guy burnt and Stroud got hit by a free runner. And as he let it go, it still made his way to Nico. And Nico had to make an adjustment to track the ball and catch it.
This is at
But
pretty early in the game, right?
it was pretty early. It
Yeah.
was on I think, the first touchdown drive.
Yeah.
I think the first touchdown drive. I might be wrong, but
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
it was a field goal drive. But yeah, got down the field with that. But Ogunbowale was in and he was pass protecting because that's usually what he does on third down. He
Yeah.
comes in, he pass protects. He gets stuck on kind of like on Miles Garrett or whoever is Larry Tunsil's getting, and then fails to get over to the linebacker who is a free rusher. If Ogunbowale is not making mistakes like that, he's going to be very important because these linebackers will blitz. They do it all the time. This
Right.
pass rush, this front seven for the Ravens, it's deadly. It's pretty nasty. So keep the pocket clean from free runners because it's also going to be cold. CJ is going to be, already a little rattled from, the maybe not rattled, but that's harsh. But I'd say like in anime territory with loud. I mean, like the Baltimore Stadium, it's loud. It's ready to go for the playoffs always.
Yeah.
Crazy defense. So yeah, Ogunbowale, being in as a pass protector will be
Mhm.
huge. So that he's my last X factor on
Hey,
offense.
Dari's a guy who all year has been stepping up in whatever way he needs to. Back when whenever it was when he had to when Kaimi was injured and he had to kick a field goal to really put us over the
Yeah,
top and help us win that
good
game.
times.
Yeah,
Good
dude,
times.
he's the man. So I love that pick. I think that's an underrated pick. I don't think a lot of people are giving Dari his flowers in that regard. So that's nice of you to give him that shout out. I'm gonna go for my third offensive X factor. Stroud Brevin. I'm going to go another running back on the team, and I think he's obviously RB1 right now. Devin Singletary. I think Devin's a guy had a fine game, 66 rushing yards, few big plays that helped out a lot. But I think the run game and like I mentioned with Brevin, speed and the run game need to be working. Obviously, let CJ cook. I want the ball in CJ's hands for the most part, but I think if we can get that run game going, I think that's really going to be a big part of our success if we have it. And I think Devin's just a really important piece of this offense right now. And he's had off weeks. Of course, it happens to everyone, but I'm really, really hoping to see Devin just kind of finding holes, the offensive line being in tune with each other, and really him just having a good day because I think that leads to obviously opening up the pass game for Stroud a little more if they have to worry about Devin. And also Damian Pierce behind him. If we can get Damian in there, maybe clicking into his old ways a little bit, I think that'll be huge, huge for us.
Yeah, I mean, it would be now's the time for Damien to turn it on if he's, got
Yeah,
something for this year. Now would
yeah,
be the time. Not counting him out, no, by no means. I think Damien is actually going to be a pivotal or a very pivotal asset for us going forward into the future. I think he's still him,
yeah,
so give him a that's another conversation for down the road though.
yeah,
But yeah, no, definitely. I agree with getting the run game going. This is going to be a cold game. I mean, I think the high is 24 in
yeah.
Baltimore on Saturday.
Hmm.
So if we can get the ground and pound going and the run it down the throat, become a run it down the throat football club,
Hey,
for a day, that'd
yeah.
be awesome. Get
Hmm.
get Stroud some get some pressure off of him. Let them worry about the run. That'd be great. So
Yeah.
I like the pick. Hopefully Motor can get it going on Saturday.
And I think he will. I think he's a guy who's ready to show up in these big moments and help any way he can. Like I said, like only 66 yards, but his presence was felt in that Browns game. He was there, and obviously the offense all had lower numbers just because fucking halfway through the third quarter that
Yeah, we
we
just
didn't need
stopped
him
playing
anymore. We didn't
offense.
need the
Yeah.
offense. But all right, let's move on to. Did you do all three of yours?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's move on to defense then. Garrett, give us your first defensive X factor.
Yeah, so everyone on defense is going to be very important. This Ravens offense is very deadly, and their OC is getting like Todd Munkin,
Lincoln, yeah.
something like that. Yeah, the former Georgia guy.
Hmm.
He's getting like head coaching looks now. I mean, he's completely transformed this Ravens offense to something where like they went from not having any weapons to who the fuck is Isaiah Likely? Like, why is he
Right.
catching one handed passes and taking them 42 down the fucking sideline?
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
But I think obviously all starts with Lamar. He is the MVP of the league. So my first X factor is Sheldon Rankins.
Mm,
Sheldon Rankins. He's practicing today, I believe. Recording Thursday, January 18th. He's practicing. If you get pressure in the interior, we have no worries about getting pressure on the outside. Pressure on the
no.
edges.
Yeah.
But Jonathan Gennard, Will Anderson, we
Hmm.
have no worries about that. If we are able to get pressure up the middle though, and kind of push Lamar back and make him feel uncomfortable, and or make him step up or something because if they're going around and I think pressure up the middle is very, very crucial to stopping Lamar because then it allows the edge guys to kind of come in and clean up the rest of it. Make them uncomfortable. But like I said, no issues with Sheldon or excuse me, Jonathan Grenard and Will Anderson Jr. Sheldon Rankins being healthy and causing havoc, wrecking havoc up the middle. I
Yeah.
think that's going to be huge for us.
Yeah, and I just confirmed he is practicing along with him, Malik Collins, Will Anderson, Jonathan Grenard, Christian Harris, a lot of these guys who were kind of off and on this week. All those guys are good to go. So that's obviously a great sign for that defensive line because, like you mentioned, it's going to be a big point of emphasis is just controlling Lamar. And on the defensive side of the ball, obviously, defensive coordinators have been trying to scheme up how to stop Lamar. Really, seems like since the dawn of time, since Lamar came into this league, people struggle with Lamar Jackson,
Yeah,
and
he's a freak.
so that's he's insane, right? But that's why this might be a little bit of a cop out, not a cop out, but my first X factor for the defensive side of the ball is D'Amico Ryans. I think D'Amico is a dude who is a genius. We talk about it all. He is a fucking genius when it comes to shutting down offenses. We saw it with the Browns. We saw Joe Flacco was on his Linsanity run. No one could stop him. And then look, obviously week 15 they put up an insane amount of points. D'Amico saw that and just immediately knew how to stop it moving forward into the wild card game. Huge. So D'Amico, a guy who it was a long time ago, and I know it said it didn't totally matter, but has seen this Ravens team this year. So he could obviously they're going to go back. They're going to look at film. A lot's changed since then, but D'Amico is going to watch every single thing, and he's just gonna. The X factor is him dialing up whatever defensive scheme he wants to go with to stop Lamar and stop this crazy Baltimore offense. And so he's my X factor for that reason, and I totally trust him. I mean, look, the Christian Harris pick six was amazing, and the clip came out from what a Netflix show, Inside the NFL. What I don't I need to watch this because everything I see
Yeah,
on it was pretty
I didn't know where this came from, but
yeah.
it looks awesome.
It does. It looks really cool, but you see like right before that fucking drive, he's sitting there with an iPad telling Christian Harris, "Look, watch the quarterback do exactly this, and you will pick it, and you will take it to the house." That fucking drive, Christian Harris has the pick six just from D'Amico mid game adjustments, telling Christian, "Look, this is what you need to do, and it'll work." And so that's some
I mean,
shit like that against this Baltimore team is extremely important.
it's the clip that you're talking about with D'Amico telling Christian Harris like, "Hey, sit there and wait, and you'll have a pick," and
Yeah,
like immediately after had the pick six, pretty much sealed the deal. Amazing, just
yeah,
amazing display of coaching and also being coachable as a player.
yeah,
Easily coachable because like that is just. I mean that's how D'Amico and the Texans are special. Going
yeah,
forward. But yeah, no, definitely I agree. D'Amico, he had an amazing game plan. Him and Burke had made an amazing game plan against the Browns. I suspect they'll have another great one against the Ravens. Because they're smart. They're smart
yeah,
guys over there.
yeah,
Yeah, no, my next X factor. I mean, I would say Derek Stingley, but I'm not fucking worried. I'm not worried. The the way he locked up Amari Cooper
yeah,
against Cleveland, insane. I mean, he is a lockdown corner. He is special. He is all pro caliber for sure. Probably a top three corner in the league. I mean, the way he's been showing up, every
yeah,
game since he's been healthy, incredible stuff from Stingley. So I'm gonna head over to the other side and go Steven Nelson. Steven Nelson, he's been great this year. And I don't think any of us expected like a wow year from Steven Nelson, but he's been like a lot of times he's been like a wow factor. He's been great. So if Derek Stingley is there to take away your first option, which doesn't matter for Lamar, he's a great quarterback, MVP season, he has other options. If Steven Nelson has a great game and takes away his second option at receiver
hmm
or whoever he's covering,
Yep.
I think that goes a long fucking way, my friend.
Hmm.
And also, not to mention, Steven Nelson did have a pick against Lamar Jackson week
Yeah.
1. Yeah, I mean, so he's done it before, or he's made a play against Lamar before. If he does his job and has a really good game against the Ravens this week, I think secondary is a good game. Like, wow, I mean, like you just have to worry about the run, really, I guess,
Yeah.
or tight ends because Mark Andrews might be playing.
Yeah.
That's up in the air. We'll see. But Steven, I'm not worried about Stingley. Steven Nelson has a great game, and we are cooking with propane, friendo.
Yeah. You stole mine for the exact reason that you mentioned too. I was going to say Steven Nelson because of what Derek did last week. I'm not worried about Derek. I fully trust Derek to shut down whoever he's assigned to. Right. But so I totally agree with Steven Nelson. I'm going to pivot a little bit then with this one. Steven is my X factor for defense as well, but just to throw in another name, Desmond King. Desmond King's a dude who brings a lot of energy to this defense. He's kind of a Christian Harris kind of. I mentioned that about Christian a couple weeks ago. He's just kind of hitting people in the mouth every fucking play. Every time you see him, God, if you're unfortunate enough to be holding that ball when you're in Christian Harris's vicinity or Desmond King's vicinity, I feel bad for you. I really do because he's going to come and put it on you. And I mean, look, that one play, he hit the fuck out of Joe Flacco this game. I can't believe it wasn't flagged. He hit him so hard. He did a 560, 580, whatever
Yeah, he
the
did
number is when you
breakdancing on
get
his
up
head.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing ring around the rosy on Joe Flacco's fucking corpse, and it was phenomenal. It was rad, and he's a guy who I think is going to be a big part of this defense, and just kind of bringing that energy, bringing that momentum, bringing those hard hitting plays that gets the guys juiced. I think that's going to be a big part of this. But also, you're right, Steven Nelson. He's a dog, man. That you good point mentioning that pick in week 1. I think this defense, if nothing else, will be able to get some turnovers, and hopefully the offense is able to turn those into points because that's really the key to the game is make this offense just make mistakes and commit turnovers.
Oh, absolutely. And if we as a team cannot capitalize on their mistakes, we don't deserve to win. I
Yeah,
feel like the better teams in this league, the ones with the it factor, take advantage and capitalize on the other team's mistakes, and
yeah,
that's what makes a good team good
yeah,
is that ability to or the ability to do that.
yeah.
Um, I'll go with my last. That's a great pick, by the way.
Mm.
My last X factor. It's not a flashy one, but I mean, it's. I think I was gonna say Christian Harris, but Christian Harris is becoming a dog, right?
Mhm.
He's a guy we don't have to really worry about.
Yeah,
He had a fantastic, maybe the best game of his career. Scratch that, the best game of his career against the Browns. I
yeah,
mean, a huge fourth down sack in the fourth quarter or whenever it was. That pick six, just ranging all over the field, being a dog. I mean, at this point, the one thing that's going to really, really help and not help a lot because honestly, it's we don't even really need it, but it will just add to it is some veteran leadership. Denzel Perryman, I don't know if
Mm.
he's I don't know if he's on the injury report or not, but we're going to need a guy. We're going to need a leader of this game because this is the number one team in the NFL. Like as we already stated,
Yeah.
this is the Super Bowl favorite for the AFC, and I feel better if the veterans are stepping up and becoming leading the younger dogs on this team
Hmm.
because I mean we're gonna need all the savviness, all the veteran savviness we can,
Yeah,
all the smarts we can. This is going to be the biggest challenge. I wouldn't say the Texans have ever faced, but like in the recent memory for sure.
yeah,
So Denzel Perryman being a guy in the middle of the field, patrolling and also helping out the other linebackers around him because the linebackers will be important in this game. Their play will be important.
yeah, big time.
So
Especially if
if
Mark Andrews is active. Yeah.
exactly. So if Denzel Perryman is there to kind of not show in his play, but in his leadership,
Hmm.
that will be ginormous. That'll
Yeah.
be that'll be enormous for the whole team. He's been there, done that. He's a Pro Bowler, been in the league for years. So you know, a guy like Denzel, and it doesn't even have to be Denzel Perryman. It could be other, you know, veterans on the team. But Denzel being a guy on the defense, probably one of the oldest guys playing on the defense for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
Him stepping up and being the leader would be enormous for the
Yeah.
defense.
I agree. And Denzel Perryman is on the injury report, but he's with he's having some issues with his ribs, but he's been limited Tuesday, Wednesday, so he's getting work in. It's usually a good sign, especially in playoff time.
Yeah.
The injury report for Thursday for today has not come out yet, but I assume he'll at least be limited or a full participant. So fingers crossed on that. And I do think we'll see him out there this time of year. It's like, look, if you're banged up, that sucks, man. Tough
I mean,
ticket. So
yeah,
is everyone
Super
else.
Bowl's on the line
Yeah,
here, so
yeah,
like,
exactly. I love that. Mine, another one, not exactly flashy, and it's not really shocking, but Jonathan Grenard. I mean, get the fuck out there, man. Let's go. Like just simple as that. Not that he hasn't been, he has, but keep it up. Obviously, him on one side and Will on the other. That's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Jonathan Grenard. Honestly, I mean, Will Anderson's been insane, but Jonathan Grenard's been just as good, if maybe not better at times, than Will Anderson this year. So
oh yeah,
it's definitely someone who you're going to keep an eye on. And if Grenard's getting off the ball, and especially if Will is as well. I mean, I know Lamar, I know the Ravens are good, but I don't know what you can do if you're getting pressure from those guys on both sides. Not to mention Sheldon Rankins up the middle and Malik Collins, who are both going. So
yeah,
and Derek Barnett, like all these dudes.
yeah,
Derek Barnett's another dude. He could have been on one of our X factors. Huge game from him last week.
yeah.
Um,
I didn't want to use him again.
yeah, yeah, and so, but yeah, it's kind of how I felt with Christian Harris as well. But yeah, but I mean, Jonathan Grenard just is a guy who we need to be going full force. I mean, right now we need him, and he's practicing. He's healthy. He's been banged up. I feel like all year. I mean, honestly, but he should be a full go. So he's a guy who, if we can get if Grenard can get his hands on Lamar, that helps this defense a lot, and it might be a long day for Lamar in that regard. But yeah,
Hope so.
that's my X
Hope
factor.
so. I mean, this defense has shown that if everyone is playing at the best of their ability and clicking on all cylinders, it's a hard defense to move the ball against.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult to move the ball against this defense
Hmm.
when they're all clicking. Showed it against the Browns. They literally could not do anything the entire second half.
Yeah.
The entire second half, it was just a no show from the Browns offense, and that's because the Texans defense was just kicking their ass.
Yeah.
So if the Texans defense plays like they did against the Browns, and Bobby Slowick, who honestly probably should have been, bonus X factor, Bobby Slowick,
Yeah.
his game plan against the Browns was flawless. It was
Crazy.
amazing. That's why he has 5 teams wanting them to or requesting to interview for their
Mhm.
open coaching job.
Yeah.
Wild. Also fucking cool that he hasn't
Fuck.
taken any of them yet. Like
Yeah.
he's dialed.
Well, yeah. Of
Um,
course not. Fuck no.
yeah, yeah. Some people do. Yeah, some
Yeah.
people
Of
are like,
course. But also, I don't think
but
Bobby's leaving, and that's just my thing. I think our culture here is just too phenomenal, and I think that's a good
yeah,
point for an X Factor. I think the culture in Houston right now is amazing, and I think everyone on that staff and every player knows that something super special is brewing, and I think Slowick wants to be a part of it for a long time, and also Slowick low key might know that, like, look, he's phenomenal, and he'd be a good head coach, but he doesn't have CJ Stroud at these other places.
seeing he's like, I'm on a really good young playoff team where we
Yeah,
could maybe fucking make a little run here next year, this year or next
he
year.
should at
So
least
we'll
stay
see.
until it. I think after next season, especially if he continues and we continue playing as well as we are. After next season, go get it. I that's fine with me. But we need to run it back one more time.
Yeah, I think so. But
Yeah,
all right, well, hey, I like your X factors, bro.
yeah,
I think if we all of our X factors fucking play well, I think we'll have a good little game on our hands.
yeah.
Uh,
I do too. I
well,
think
we would make predictions, but that's for tomorrow's special game day episode.
yeah,
It's gonna be a quick one because we don't want to keep you waiting. We're just gonna give you what you want, our predictions, who's gonna go off, who won't, maybe not who won't, but the final scores and everything tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that.
yeah,
Before we get out of here, I want to thank our sponsors, Celebrity Mint. Go check them out on socials. The Celebrity Mint. They have fantastic sports memorabilia. They have the Ric Flair line, the Mike Tyson line. Both of them trade. I got the trading coins right here, both legal tender. They have all kinds of stuff. So go check them out on the Celebrity Mint. They have a no idea. They have a Valentine's Day
I
deal, right?
do. U.S. Coins and Jewelry also over there doing stuff with Celebrity Mint. Have a really cool Valentine's Day special going. If you want to make her Valentine's Day sparkle, which fellas, I mean, you know you want to do it. For those who seek
You have to.
excellent quality and exceptional value in fine jewelry, discover their unique, one of a kind jewelry collection that will make Valentine's Day extra special this year. Shop rings, bracelets, and necklaces, and earrings, and more, and get 15% off their already reduced prices. So if you're looking for the best deals on Valentine's Day jewelry for your special someone, visit them today at 8435 Katy Freeway in Houston, Texas. Their collection offers options for men and women. So, guys and gals, there's no reason to not go.
Yes, and so thank you, Celebrity Mint, and also thank you to Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. We will be there at the marquee location off of Katy Freeway for a ball washing event. The whole crew will be there. It'll be we were there last week. If you came,
Looked like a
come again
blast.
because it's going to be
Yeah.
even bigger, better, more explosive, and hopefully we'll get the win with all of our boys. So come on out Saturday 3:30 for the game time at Big City Wings. Again, marquee location off of Katy Freeway. I'll put the full address in the description. And thank you, Big City Wings, for powering this episode off the Gridiron, and also thank you, Celebrity Mint.
Yep. Thank you so much. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It lets us know that you like what we're doing. It means a whole lot to us. And make sure you leave a comment down below. Give us your predictions for the game. Give us your X factors. Really interested to hear what y'all have to say. Garrett and I read every comment. So leave them down there. Follow us on Twitter at Apollo HOU and Apollo Texans to keep up with Houston sports and obviously also the Texans. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.
Watch Texans. Go Texans.